Hello and welcome to another xray.tech video. I'm Tom Nasser, the Automation Alchemist, and today we're going to talk about how you can gather good quality data to fuel your automations. In a previous video, we highlighted how bad data can ruin your automated workflows. If you missed that video or want a refresher, you can check that out in the description down below. In this video, I'm going to share a few simple techniques for gathering good data to power your automations. If you follow these tips, you'll have the clean, consistent, and complete data you need to build useful automations. Let's get into it. As we discussed in the last video, inconsistent data is a huge problem when you're building automations. One way to make sure that your dataset contains consistent and complete records is to designate a single approved method for adding new data. When your team needs to create a new record for a client or project, there shouldn't be any question about which app to use or which table to add it to. For example, you could create an Airtable form designed to let your team add a new client to your directory. Share a link to the form in your documentation and make it clear to your team that they should always use this form to create a new client record. In the form, you can set all of the necessary fields to required, so you won't have to worry about ending up with a bunch of incomplete entries that will break your automations in the future. It can require a little bit of documentation and training, but making sure that your team always adds new data in the same way will ensure that your databases are consistent and complete as you start to automate. Every problem caused by bad data is only made worse when your records are spread across multiple apps that aren't connected. At Xray, we found Airtable to be a great solution for storing the vast majority of our data. It has a robust feature set with tools like filters and views that give you precise control over managing and displaying your data. Keeping all your data in one app like Airtable will make it much easier to keep everything clean and consistent. However, we understand that it's not always possible to store all your records in a single app. No software is perfect, and there might be times when you'll need some features that your preferred app just doesn't offer. If you do need to manage your data in multiple apps, then you can use a synchronization tool like Unido or Coupler to at least make sure that any parallel records can stay up to date. By setting up automatic syncs, you can make sure that any updates that you make to a table in Notion are reflected in a similar spreadsheet in Airtable or Google Sheets. Under any circumstances, limiting your database software to as few apps as possible will help you keep everything organized. But when you need to branch into different software, synchronization tools will let you avoid manual data entry and the errors that come along with it. The first two tips we mentioned here are great for making sure that your new records are standardized, but what can you do about your existing data? Ultimately, you can always salvage a messy data set with some cleanup work. It can be tedious, but a thorough audit will help you get rid of duplicates and update incomplete records. If you've got the time, you could go through all your records manually, but thankfully there are some tools that can make it go much faster. For instance, you can use the dedupe app in Airtable. As you might have guessed from the name, dedupe is an app that helps you to find and delete any duplicate records that you have in Airtable. Just click on Apps, select Add App, and search for dedupe to add it to your base. If you're working in Google Sheets, just click on Data in the toolbar and select Remove Duplicates. The app will then walk you through the process of reviewing and deleting any duplicate records in your spreadsheet. While it's always best to start with clean data in the first place, it's never too late to go back and improve a messy data set. With help from some native features and plugins, your database apps can help you clean up the data you already have. Gathering good data is essential for building effective and functional automations. Creating data with a consistent process and keeping your records in just one or two apps is a great way to start. And if you need to clean up data you've already collected, Airtable and Google Sheets have some simple tools that will let you easily clear out duplicates and clean up your data. Once your data sets are in good shape, you'll be ready to use them in your automations. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to support the channel. If you'd like to learn more about no-code and low-code automations, follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, or Facebook, and you can find all of our content on our website at xray.tech. You can check out all those links in the description down below, and as always, don't forget, keep the flow.